For most of us, by far the brightest symbol of Italian Rome is the glorious Colosseum. However, we are in for a big surprise. There are valid reasons to suspect that the famous Colosseum of Rome was not built 2,000 but 200 years ago. Moreover, it was erected on the agenda of Roman Pope from Pius VII and completed by Pius IX in 1852. One careful look at Colosseum is sufficient to see that from the very beginning it was built as props of antique ruins. We see that the Colosseum was built of stone, concrete and bricks. Isn't it strange that in such a supposedly very ancient construction concrete was used? Historians may argue that the ancient Romans invented concrete about 2,000 years ago. Why then was it not used in medieval constructions? In our opinion, many allegedly ancient concrete buildings are of much more recent origin than historians say. If we look closely at the masonry of interior walls of the Colosseum, we find no traces of authentic restoration. All brickwork in Colosseum looks the same and is made of similar bricks. We see that the bricks were chipped off just before laying. In other words, when building the Colosseum, it was immediately artificially portrayed as centuries-old one. The same can be said about the sections of allegedly collapsed brickwork inside the Colosseum too. These sections are also clearly made immediately in its current collapsed form. Had the brickwork collapsed, the bare internal bricks would have located along with the original wall surfaces, but they are at an angle to it. Moreover, a significant part of the bricks should have been chipped, but there is nothing like that in the Colosseum. Collapsed sections of the walls were laid out from whole bricks immediately in its final collapsed look. Better yet, most bricks are turned on purpose at an angle to the wall surface to portray the supposedly chaotic surface. Too bad, masons used to laying bricks regularly spread were unable to achieve real chaos masonry. Rearrangement in the walls of the Colosseum does not look as like the real neatly laid out remnants of old vaults. One can see that all these destructions were simulated during the initial construction in order to depict antiquity. Genuine vaults of windows and doors in old buildings that sank into ground look completely different. Here, for comparison, is a photograph of the outer wall of the Cathedral of St. Irina in Istanbul. There are traces of genuine reconstruction. Please note that the upper sections of the wall look significantly newer than the older lower ones. They have more modifications. But in the Colosseum, laying bricks, surprisingly, is of the same style at all levels. Further, in authentic old buildings, the lower part of the building is usually underground or excavated. For example, the Cathedral of St. Irina is in this 4-meter excavation approximately. However, there is no excavation around the Colosseum, as there are no traces of its immersion in the ground. Is it possible that in 2,000 years, supposedly passed since the time of construction, the cultural layer, visible to the naked eye, did not grow around the Colosseum? Very strange that. Note that the completion of the Colosseum goes on today. This photo clearly shows how the work on the extension of the brick wall of the Colosseum is progressing with an ancient white stone. This is done openly, in front of tourists, on mobile scaffolding. So when was the Colosseum really built? Vatican does not make a secret of this. Bravissimo. For example, in the Vatican Palace, a fresco with the image of the newly designed Colosseum ruins is on public display. It is clearly shown how the project of ruins of Colosseum turns into a reality. Colosseum is built as ancient ruins. The foreground shows an angel with a Masonic compass and a building angle. Angel helps to build the Colosseum, right? But would angel help even the pagan emperor with the construction? Far from it. That would be highly inappropriate for an angel. The name of the builder, like the year of construction, is sincerely written on the fresco. Next to the image of the Colosseum, we read, "The 7th year of Pope Pius VII." As Pope Pius VII ruled in 1800 to 1823, then the angel was talking about the year 1807 AD. The same date is repeated in the inscription under the fresco. Amphitheater. Flavium. Pius VII. Builder. Year 1807 AD. Sparing the intricacies of the translation, we note that Pope Pius VII is named as the builder of the ruins of the Colosseum. So, the fresco in the Vatican Palace clearly shows the beginning of construction of the Colosseum as ancient ruins in 1807 AD, and we can see when the project was first drawn up, right? Okay, but when one has completed its construction of the ruins of Colosseum? The answer is written in large letters on a marble plaque located just above the entrance to Colosseum. Pope Pius IX, who ruled from 1846 to 1878. This historic event of the completion of the restoration of the Colosseum took place in 1852, in the 7th year of the reign of Pope Pius IX.
United Nations proclaimed in 2007 Colosseum as the second wonder of the world after the Great Wall of China.